So the first thing we're going to do is go into Blackboard and create our test. In this case, it's video assignment number 1. And then what we need to do is go and create a question. So in some cases you may reuse questions, but in this case we're just going to create a question and go down and do a true or false question. So the first thing we're going to do is type the question in. And after we type the question in, we're going to hit enter and create a video line. And that video line is going to be the future slug place where we're going to actually embed our code from YouTube. So I'll make this question false and then I'll hit enter here. Now I'm going to go to YouTube and I'm going to click on the share button and I'm going to click on the embed button at the bottom. And the only embed option we really want is to show player controls. So I'm going to unselect everything else. And you'll see that by default there's a start time in the embed code. And in this case it's starting at 6 minutes or 360 frames. So that is 60 frames per second. So 6 times 60 is 360. So that's the math behind how this works. It doesn't actually allow you to put how many seconds, but it's putting how many frames. So you can see it doesn't have an end time after the start time either. So if we go and change the start time to 5 minutes, you'll see it will change to 300 frames because 6 times 5 is, well, 60 times 5 is 300. And so what you want to do is go into your video and play it and figure out where your start and end times are and calculate the frames. Or if you don't want to calculate them, you can just enter them into the start and calculate it that way. In this case, we know that we want to start at 300 for 5 minutes. So I'm going to leave that there. And we want to calculate the end at 6 minutes and 28 seconds. And we can see that that is 388. So I'm going to change the start to 300, and then I'm going to type an ampersand or and end equals, and I'm going to put that end time that I calculated, or we figured out there, 366. I'll select this code, copy it, and go back into Blackboard, and I want to put it in this slug place. So I'll hit the HTML button, I'll select that video, and I'll paste that embed code in. Now it's embedded and I can go down and hit submit. Now that it's submitted, I can go and look and play it, and you'll see that it's created brackets for the end point and the start point. When it's done playing that, it will actually start the video over, but they will get the part played that you've selected. If you need to make changes to this, you can go in and change the start time or the end time by adjusting it here in the HTML code that you've embedded. So go ahead and continue this for every question that you need to add, and you'll be able to make sure your students are watching videos and that they're doing the work that you've asked them to do. And this work will be recorded, of course, as a test into Gradebook or a quiz or whatever you've set up.